The antennas of influence. In the not-so-distant future, technology had merged seamlessly into the human experience, changing the world in unimaginable ways. Among the most controversial advancements was the development of mind-control antennas, slender devices created to amplify thoughts and emotions, and in some cases, to alter them entirely. In the heart of New San Francisco, Dr. Celia Rourke, the brilliant but enigmatic scientist who pioneered the antennas, stood in her laboratory, a sleek compound filled with screens flickering data and intricate diagrams. These antennas, initially designed to assist people with neurological disorders, had reignited a debate that spanned ethics, autonomy, and the very fabric of free will. Her initial trials had shown promise. Patients who struggled with severe anxiety or depression reported remarkable improvements, their minds harmonized by the gentle influence of the antennas. But there were whispers. Those who saw the antennas not as a healing tool, but as a gateway to manipulation. A government agency had taken a keen interest in Celia's work, envisioning a world in which the antennas could be used to control masses, to bend will and reshape society according to idealistic visions of order and uniformity. One evening, as dusk draped its shadow over the city, Celia received an unexpected visitor. He was a young man named Theo, eyes bright with both apprehension and determination. He claimed he had come to warn her. "I've seen what they plan to do with your antennas, Dr. Rourke. You have to stop them." Theo's voice trembled, yet there was an undercurrent of conviction that caught Celia's attention. Intrigued, Celia listened as Theo painted a chilling picture of an underground resistance forming among those who feared the rise of a manipulative regime. "They're testing the antennas on the populace, altering thoughts and perceptions without consent. It has to be exposed. You're the only one who can help." Celia felt a knot tighten in her stomach. Although she had envisioned her invention as a means of healing, she had never fully grasped how it could be weaponized. They spent the night discussing the ramifications of her creation, the responsibility that weighed on her shoulders, and the potential fallout of unleashing such technology into the hands of the powerful. Days morphed into weeks. Theo became a constant presence at the lab, his passion igniting a fire within Celia. She watched his unwavering resolve as he gathered evidence, testimonies from affected families, and records of unauthorized experiments. Together they concocted a plan to expose the truth, yet the closer they got, the more dangerous it became. One evening, as they transferred data onto a secure server, alarm bells blared through the facility. Security drones hummed to life, patrolling the premises. "We have to get out of here," Celia shouted, adrenaline surging through her veins. She and Theo dashed through the darkened corridors, thoughts racing as they narrowly avoided capture. They reached a secluded exit, but as they stepped through, they found themselves surrounded by agents in suits, the very officials interested in her antennas. Among them stood Marcus Lane, the cold, calculating head of the agency that had funded her research. "Dr. Rourke, we've been looking for you," he said, his voice smooth yet laced with menace. "It would be a shame to see all your work go to waste." Celia felt her heart pound as she pondered her next move. "You don't understand," Theo interjected, stepping forward. "Her work isn't a weapon, it's a lifeline. You're using it to control minds instead of freeing them." Marcus's gaze shifted between the two, eyes narrowing. "Freeing them or leading them? Our world needs order. Theo, your idealism is as dangerous as it is naive." Just when it seemed all was lost, a flicker of inspiration struck Celia. She had always been a step ahead in her work. The antennas could be programmed not only to influence thoughts, but also to unveil them, to expose the truth within every mind affected. With a quiet confidence, she activated a small remote in her pocket. The antennas spread across New San Francisco, each node glowing softly in response to her command. A pulse rippled through the air, and a wave of clarity washed over the citizens. Mind control was no longer a silent whisper, but an open revelation. All across the city, people gasped as emotions flooded their consciousness. Memories, desires, fears, and truth that had long been buried. They reclaimed their autonomy, their right to think freely. Control slipped from the grasp of those who sought to wield it. As the agents scrambled in chaos, Celia and Theo slipped into the shadows, unseen by the chaos erupting around them. They emerged not just as survivors, but as champions of the truth. Together, they had ignited a movement that transcended fear and manipulation, leading to a new age of enlightenment and self-awareness. In the landscape of a transformed society, Celia vowed to rework her antennas, not as instruments of manipulation, but as bridges to understanding. The world would learn to embrace its thoughts and emotions, guided by the belief that to truly connect with others is to respect the sanctity of each mind. After all, in a world where thoughts can be shared, it is honesty that reigns supreme.